Hello everyone, happy Monday. Today I am going to show you guys how I pulled in, sorry that was a random page, how I am pulling in the very first lesson of Oak Meadow Level 5 Science. I did a video over the weekend, I believe it was Sunday, where I flipped through several lessons in here in the Oak Meadow Science grade 5. And so I'll figure it out. I'm not fancy with YouTube yet and I don't know how to do like all like the embedded like links to things, but I'll figure it out. If nothing else, I will just link it, like provide a copy and paste URL link if you are interested in watching that video where I kind of did like an overview and stuff. So today I'm not going to do that. So today I'm just going to kind of show you lesson 1. Well, I'm not going to show you lesson 1. I'm just going to kind of give you like the general theme. Again, go look at that other video. I'm going to show you the things that I'm going to use to incorporate with it. So lesson 1 is going over the scientific inquiry and the scientific method, essentially. And we're going to do that by looking at birds' beak shape and the types of seeds that those birds, according to their beak shape, like to eat. There you go. That I keep getting tongue twisted over that one. But anyway, that's what that whole lesson is about. And if you're unfamiliar with Oak Meadow, you don't need any outside reading material. It's embedded in here. But I'm always extra and I like to incorporate extra things, you know, but it is already embedded in here. So you don't technically need anything. But again, I'm not that sort of girl. I always have to do more, right? So I'm going to show you some of the things that I'm using to incorporate with that. Oh, I should say, if you guys understand context, the context behind it is my son is supposed to find pictures of birds' beaks online, print it out, and he's supposed to organize them according to beak shape. So the hooked beak, and then like the flatter beaks, and then the conical shaped beaks, like that kind of stuff. And then he groups it and organizes it. Okay, that's important because then you need to understand what I'm doing with these things. So I got this as a gift for my birthday last year. But what it is you have a whole bunch, like a whole box, so a whole bunch of like these animal like note card type of things. And I think they're kind of cool because it's telling you for what part of the world it's from. So eastern, north, actually all of these I think are from, hold on a second. Backyard birds for eastern and western North America. So I'll have some from eastern and then the western North America. So I have these and it tells you what the juvenile version looks like versus what the adults. These are blue jays, right? How come it doesn't? Yeah, blue jays. It tells you the name over here on the back. So the blue jays. And sometimes it even tells you like the kind of foods that they like to eat and stuff. So that is how it's going to tie in, right? Because sometimes it'll tell us the type of food. But really what I'm going to use this for is he can find like maybe 15 of these that he likes and we can just lay it on our printer. So like lay it face down, all these, and let the printer like scan them, and then he can cut them up and he can use these for his research that he has to do, you know, instead of going through and spending a lot of time like on the internet, which I'm totally okay if he wants to do that. But instead of doing that, we can just use this, you know. So that's one of the things I'm going to use. The other thing I thought would be useful is this Birds of Pennsylvania field guide. It has beautiful illustrations in here. He can photocopy this so he can arrange it and put it into the categories that he needs to. But it also tells you what food they eat. So that's pretty cool because we can look at examples and what types of foods that they eat, you know? So I have that. Another thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to pull out our Jack and Link stuff. For those of you guys who don't know, I own a small business with my husband. It's just a 2-person family, veteran owned and operated. And we make wooden boards for educational use and dry erase pieces and stuff. And I have a bunch of like really fun dry erase pieces that we're going to use across the board, like for ELA. So for practicing nouns, verbs, adjectives, compound sentences, whatever, we're going to be using this stuff. And so I just wanted to put it out so that way I didn't forget, you know. And this is, I'm just going to carry the theme of birds into all our other content areas, you know. I'm going to plug myself. I'm going to put my my URL in there because why not? The other things that I'm going to be doing are just for fun. Like it's straight up just for fun. My youngest is going into 5th grade. I feel that clock ticking. I feel it. And I'm just like, I'm not ready to give it up. Okay. So I think he's going to get a huge kick out of it. We're going to be doing this craft, this paper plate bird craft in here. And we're going to be making him complete with googly eyes and everything. And then I have another craft we're also going to do, and it's this rainbow birds craft in here. And you're going to use some leaves, and I think it's going to be really fun. So I think it's going to be cute, low key. You don't need a whole bunch of supplies other than what's found already in like your backyard. And then again, just for fun, is this birdhouse one that I've had on my shelf for like ever, and it doesn't get enough use, you know? And this one actually is it's surprising. It has a lot of good info, surprisingly, you know? So we can also pull information from here on their beaks and maybe what they like to eat and stuff, because there is some information in there about those specific birds. See, like woodpeckers have long pointy beaks, perfect for tapping at wood to find insects. You see, we totally fits the theme, right? Totally fits the theme. So we have that. Another one is the bird nests and eggs. This one also is going to fit the theme. Not only is it like a little cutesy book, but it has info in there on like the types of things that they like. Look, they eat over 100 different kinds of food. Their favorite is sunflower seeds. They also like cracked corn and all that kind of stuff. Like, isn't that like, so it fits the theme. And I get to double dip and do a cute little picture book. Well, this is more like an informational book, but still. There's that. Also, just for funsies, is the Bad Seed, because why not? I think this is the very last time that we're probably going to be reading it. And going forward, I'm going to have to add this to my get rid of book stack type of thing. That's my mom. My mom wrote that for the boys. But anyway, so cute, right? So cute. This is going to be, she likes to leave inscriptions on all their books. A seed is sleepy. I know we've all seen this one, so I'm bringing it out because why not? The theme is basically like seeds, and we're just gonna see. I'm telling you, my mom likes to do an inscription for everything. So just like a cute one for us to follow through and just read throughout the week, you know? So that is what I have. So I have this book, this book, this one, this book, this book. And those are just for fun. And then my informational resources and books I'm using are these two. And then my cute little fun hands-on components that's just going to tie the theme across all content areas are my Jack and Link wooden boards and dry erase shapes. And that is how I am pulling this lesson together. So that is what I like about Oak Meadow so far, is that it's allowing this kind of flexibility. You know what I mean? You definitely have this. There's this theme. I can pull in outside resources, and I'm pulling information from there to accomplish the task, you know? So it's not busy work. It's not out of what we're already doing. All those books are going to tie in and just add a little bit of whimsy. So that is what I'm doing for lesson 1. So my plan is to still share with you guys every single, like how I'm pulling together all the other lessons, but realistically, time just gets away from me. But I'm going to try to do it a little bit more often, okay? So I should at least do several more of these, kind of like walk through like how I plan on approaching Oak Meadow and that kind of stuff. So hopefully that this has been helpful to you guys. And thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys. I always feel like I'm talking to my friends and be like, you know what I mean? So I totally enjoy the chit chat and ask me questions and all sorts of stuff. So thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe.